Right. Hi, I'm Paavo.
I'm Tommi. We're from The Empire Strikes. Since 2019, well, at 2019 we already had been a band for like almost 9 years, so
it's been less fun since from 2020, but it looks to be getting a lot more fun now in the immediate future.
Yeah.
We spoke before Charm, I guess, the previous album.
Yeah, the previous
in
album.
Ilves.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool.
I can't say that it was a break, but let's say that there was this like a slump in the band.
There was an idling
business.
Period.
Yeah.
With all the bands, I think I can speak for all of us that the main thing in the band thing for us is playing live shows. And when the live show thing screeched to a halt in 2020, it's been the keeping the wheels turning has demanded more of a conscious process.
Yeah, true.
When you have like 5 gigs coming in the next 3 months, it's pretty easy to feel like you're in a band and feel like what's the next that we're doing. Because I think it's funny because like some bands take a break from touring to make an album, and we took a break from touring and the album got slower. So.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I wouldn't say that it took that long to make the album because of COVID, let's say, or the pandemic.
Yeah.
It just took us because of not gigging, so there was like budget issues and stuff like that, but the process was like ongoing all the time. When we like kind of woke up to the thing that we're gonna have to do something, and so we made an album. Yeah. I think that the first songs actually for the album were written already like during the pandemic, so it's been, well, let's say that the first single was out in 2021, so
most of it has been ready from like it's been the negotiations with the record like the record labels. It was not obvious in the beginning that we had a releaser. Luckily, Marco from Ghost Highway has been working with us, and it's been great. And we got, like, after all, it all fell into place quite nicely. But it was a process of having almost a mastered record with like no home for a while there.
Yeah, true. I'd say that people who know that our like line of doing things is out of line, that we don't like, basically I don't think that we fit in any like footnote or strict genre box, so this continues the limitlessness of what we do usually. So I don't think that it's gonna be, well, it's not gonna be a disappointment to anyone. I hope so. I haven't disappointed in it, so why would anybody else?
I'm really happy with the album. The process was there was a basic in the our songwriting process for years now has happened somewhat in the rehearsal space, somewhat in especially Topi's and Tommi's homes, but more than most it's been Topi's cabin in central Finland, and the kind of like the unforced nature of writing songs. When like the thing of not having a deadline was that things got like organically delayed. Yeah. Don't give us a deadline. Like, it's kind of a. But the thing was, we didn't have to force anything, and it's like a natural next step in the evolution of the Empire Strikes. I feel like
it would have been a bad second song, let's say. That
exactly.
It wasn't like, I don't think that it was fully intentional to put Charlatan as the first song, but when it was like orchestrated and Hele Dummel played the strings on it and Alean Ide played the horns on it, and then you just basically you couldn't leave it as like the third or seventh or something song. That it just, well, When people hear it, they will know. It had to be the first one. Topi actually does the compositions and orchestrations, and then we have our personal good friends that are amazing musicians who can actually play those classical instruments very, very well. so
it's been really interesting, like finding that side of Topi, who is like a guitar player and our favorite beardo. And then, like, it's been I think it was it already on High Tide?
No,
more on Charm.
Yeah, more on Charm.
On the previous album, and now obviously on Motell Scandinavia, that like he really has a knack for that orchestration kind of thing, and that's been really cool added variety in the music.
Yeah, there's no compromises on these. Of course, it would be much easier to put everything in MIDI, and probably people do that, but we don't. We record our albums live as a foursome in the same space, and we use the tracks that is on that take, period. Then we add the vocals, the backing vocals, and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's done like, 40 years ago, but not on tape. So to say.
Not anymore. None of the studios have tape machines anymore.
Yeah, but we could do it on tape also.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you should.
Maybe we should. We're just gonna have to find a DeLorean and take us back
one
to
of these days.
1975.
How do you guys solve that sort of thing? Because I presume you're also not kind of a backing track band live.
We have an
seem
intro.
A bit like it, but
No, yeah, that's yeah. Backing tracks would be no.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I think what you mean. We saw like the arrangements will be more sparse in the average live show.
yeah.
So there's special events. We'll have strings attached, or
Horns or
last fall
something.
we had horns, and that was super fun. It gives a special something
But now
on stage. But
now we have Ari.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
Ari. So Ari just came in after doing the album, and he's our keyboard player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
that solves it.
It
So
gives it
now-
a lot more.
Yeah, it's gonna give us more, but yeah, let's say those. I think that we could never use backing tracks, for one reason. Playing to a click is
I don't think
it's
it's
impossible to play on a click because the albums or the tracks haven't been recorded in click, so, so we kind of shot ourselves in the leg with that one. So
Yeah, those tracks don't have a click on them. That's a very good.
Issue.
yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Let's see how you're gonna do that if you're like ever gonna tour. Like,
We're just gonna have to get more more people in the band. So
Yeah,
Couple
yeah,
of-
yeah.
couple of
If we
violins.
need we need the string tracks, we need to have a budget for the string player.
Yeah.
That's kind of
so well, maybe if somebody sees this and can play strings, they can apply to your band. at
or
some
give us
point.
money. A hefty load of
It's like
money.
better.
we'll negotiate the gig.
Yeah, but there's like 20 odd songs in a set list, and there's 4 strings arrangements. So I think that it's easier to do something else and sweat more on the show and like distract people from they don't hear the album tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess you can also. There's some guitarists that can like fake playing violin on the guitar, so maybe you could try that. Not
well,
that it
yeah.
sound the same, but
Yeah.
You
As,
don't-
as the farthest we have gone into the faking this far is that I have an octave in my baseboard. So there's a sub octave and a higher octave in some of the songs where there's a string arrangement. It's not even close to what's been played, but I hope it brings a bit of a girth to
simulates. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't think there's a guitar player with time to emulate violin.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot.
Topi emulating violin on a guitar in a live show is an
It's
idea.
possible.
I would pay for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would pay for that.
I mean, there can be, like, if you pick Hollywood vampires, for instance, it's the only thing that Johnny Depp do is just like slide his guitar once in a while. So you know, why not?
And he also looks good, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'd go to see Johnny Depp just for Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to play anything.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's. Well, maybe the reason is that the particular track just kind of stands out. Well, and we didn't come up with a good album name. So all the previous albums have had like a story or that the album is named what it is, and then what's inside is, well, the album. But so this time we just, there wasn't like how should I say, there wasn't like a red string to follow that this is the album and this is what you get inside. But I think that now the song stands up for the album. So there are in the song it says like low hopes and no expectations. So there's your album of the year.
That could have been the title as well, I guess. That would have been hilarious.
That would, yeah. I had an idea for album name that it got voted down. Like Volume 4 was not.
I think that
some guys from Birmingham used it before.
Yeah, and after doing the Take It Easy video, they would have killed us in every single bar.
Yeah, the homage can go. The tribute to others can go too far, I guess. I think the Motell Scandinavia, obviously there's the song which has like shadows of Hotel California but there's the Scandinavian part where where we've been the odd uncle of the action rock scene in Scandinavia. There's a bit of a tip of the cap to the Scandinavian rock scene in its entirety with the awkward but loving relationship we've had with that side of things.
True.
And
very
where
true.
as we're, in my opinion, moving farther away from super shaded to the max, even
though that we've never actually been
we've
there.
never been close, but
It would be more. I'd say that it would be more difficult to follow some like restrictions. That you'd have restrictions that you have decided that your band is now an action rock band, or a pure pop band, or a ska band, or like hardcore punk band. That would be difficult. I think that
some of us would need more than one other band if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is that like we wrote 17 to 20 songs. We recorded 17 songs and there's 10 on the album. So the diversity of songs on the album is actually quite a bit compressed from the totality of the process.
There's some weird shit.
That you didn't release?
Not yet, at least, but yeah.
Not yet. It might drop sometime. Yeah. The context, the whole context of the record was the main thing. So that we had those 17 songs, and there was some pre-made ideas of which are the strongest or but most of it was in the air, and then see like we didn't know if it's a 10-song album or it's a 14-song album or how that works out.
Yeah, those 10 just kind of like work together really good.
Felt
and
like.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the ones that got left out that they're like bad or wouldn't stand up, but they just didn't go in that particular like on that album. Now we got 7 songs they're waiting, so who knows, or maybe we'll just leave them somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you want the truth?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. The truth is that when Eyes of Oblivion came out, I kind of was really disappointed. That in some way disappointed, because I kind of like I got really stuck in the era of helicopters in the By the Grace of God, that's my go-to album. That's my favorite album of all time. And I kind of like, I had this weird, I don't know if it was a bad idea, but I had the idea that, can I do it like that way too? And then it wasn't as Helicopters-ish in the beginning, but then as we started playing and playing and playing, and then we just were like, fuck it. Like, let's make this like a proper tribute song for that band. So that was the actual point of it.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, so I tried to make it better. And if someone wants to kill me for it,
well, you mentioned a little bit of tributes already. Are there any other tributes, like to any artists you like in this specific record?
Also, there was yeah.
Or like
That's
Easter
a good
eggs?
question. I don't think so, off the top of my head, if there's a...
nothing as obvious.
That's obvious, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's obvious, yeah.
We have these like working titles for songs, and those kind of like give like some kind of
Yeah, but like
those
more
are for
often
us.
than not, like I'm not willing to share some of the working titles for
Yeah,
this
me
album,
neither.
because there's a working title that has been given to a song in its first iteration in the rehearsal space 2.5 years ago, and then it's been arranged and evolved, and it might have nothing to do with the first idea that we had. But yeah, that's fun.
For example, there's a song that's working title is Thump. Just like thump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just about artists that you like that you name the working titles after, but also just noise.
Yeah,
I guess.
and chord D.
Yeah.
There's a hefty load of songs that are named D song something.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason.
Well, interesting. I actually always like to hear about working titles. It's fascinating somehow.
You're gonna have to come and steal one of our set lists then, because those
they're
are
full?
Yeah.
in working titles.
Yeah,
And
they
if
work.
someone steals one,
It's useless.
it's totally useless. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's most of them are like undesirable. Like if you have, obviously, if someone posts a real like the release names, then you can compare them. But like, yeah, there's not much of a.
Well, that's good to know, because sometimes I take a photo of the set list for my report. So
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Motell Scandinavia, the song has always been Modelli.
Yeah.
That has been it. So that hasn't changed. So that one you will figure out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. All right, we'll have a album release show February 8th on the Rocks in Mikankatu in Helsinki. That'll be a great show. We'll be supported by the Black Bubbles,
And we will
who
be
are a great Helsinki band.
Yeah.
And we'll be gathering with that same beautiful group of musicians in Hella Klubi in Vantaa in March 2nd. That's a Saturday.
3rd or 2nd.
Second,
Oh yeah,
it's
Saturday.
It's March 2nd, Saturday. After we play 5 or let's see, maybe 6 gigs in Spain in the middle of February, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and on our that we're releasing the album and celebrating that in less than a month, we will also be introducing a new member to the crowd. So
Yeah.
Ari Suhonen joined the band like, let's say, 6 months ago. So we will be bringing up, the band is getting bigger, you know.
Step one.
Yeah. I'd have to say that listen to the album. It's coming out on Friday, 19th January, like from this date, 3 more days, sleeps. Have fun and see you on the shows, I suppose.
Spring is almost here.
Let there be light.
Like -16 today, but sure.
No, we're gonna be in Malaga on Valentine's Day, so
I hate you guys.
we love you too.